Hello, it's Rachel. Today I'm discussing Kung Fu Season 3, Episode 11. We're back to being frustrated with the writer's choices after the brief reprieve of having fun with last week's episode since Althea got center stage. Um, so we start the episode with the group trying to track Zhao, and Evan gets his hands on a tape where the group learns she has gotten her hands on a scepter, and they also realize that Zhao has become more powerful and is no longer using Paling's face, something that distresses Shallan and Nikki as they presume there's no way to save Paling now. As Zhao has been quickly jumping from one location to another, they don't know where she currently is, and Henry has the idea to use his compass powers to connect to the scepter so he can track her. Shallan doesn't have much faith that he will succeed, and she urges Nikki to see Bo, saying, quote, I don't care if it's a friendly chat or a torture session, but we should at least find out what he knows. End quote. And, I know I already had my complaint session with episode 8 when we learned all about Bo's past, but why is the narrative so flippant about Bo being groomed? Why is a brainwashing victim being met with threats of violence? Like, for a show that wants us to view the lead as compassionate, especially since Nikki literally forgave Shallan for murdering Paling, why does this show have so much bloodlust towards Bo? Because if all the characters are treating him like this, and it's presented neutrally, then I have to assume the writers want the audience to agree with this viewpoint. Like, do the writers just hate him because he was an obstacle to Nikki and Henry getting back together? Like, genuinely, why does Jalon catch a break when Bo doesn't? Because, like, I love Jalon, but she made all of her choices of her own accord. Bo, again, has literally been groomed since childhood. He viewed Zhao as, like, his savior, but apparently he's completely irredeemable. Like, I can't. Anyway, while Nikki is seeing Bo, Henry successfully manages to lock onto the scepter, but upon seeing Zhao, it appears that the connection goes both ways and she sees him too, startling him. The few glimpses Henry did see allow him, Nikki, and Shallan to put together that Zhao is near the Chinese monastery that Mia has been living at. Between what little info Bo was able to give about Zhao desiring to cleanse the bloodline and this clue from Henry, Nikki and Shallan presume that Zhao is trying to kill Mia as she has been a bit fixated on that last season. Because of this, Nikki and Shallan quickly make their way to China, planning to warn Mia. Upon disclosing this information to Mia, though, she insists on staying at the monastery. Nikki and Shallan agree to stay there and fight with Mia, as they believe that this is probably the best shot at defeating Zhao. Now, while we have this high-stakes drama with Nikki and Jalan, there's other drama with the Shen, so let me quickly detour into that. So Althea's storyline this episode is that she's convinced someone is watching her, having noticed a white van in a few places. This leads to her and Dennis searching her work office, and Althea notices a tiny camera, proving her fears right. She gives a message to the people spying on her saying she wants to meet, which leads to the reveal that apparently she's being recruited by the NSA. So, I know I said the Delta storyline felt like the moment the show jumped the shark, but given that ended up being a 2 episode story, I've changed my mind. This was the moment. Like, this whole show is built on the whole mysticism element, and now, out of nowhere, the writers decide to throw in espionage. Like, for what? This isn't a spy show. And, like, if the whole point that you literally made a couple episodes ago is that Nikki is doing good that the police aren't, like, why are you trying to make a secret government institution look good? Like, wouldn't they be regarded kind of the same as police? Like, what is going on? Meanwhile, Meili is at a crossroads with Harmony Dumplings. Now, I haven't talked about this storyline yet for the whole season because honestly, it felt kind of pointless as it was happening, but this episode reveals what the writers have been building to with Harmony Dumplings getting more exposure and receiving the corporate funds in all of this. It's leading to Mei Li giving up Harmony Dumplings. And I just want to know what was going through the writers' minds that led them to this decision. Because we've had 3 seasons of the Shens fighting tooth and nail to keep Harmony Dumplings afloat. We've had Mei Li talk about how running Harmony Dumplings is her dream. But no, the writer said, nah, time to say goodbye to the restaurant. For what? Who asked for a 3rd season of the Shens struggling to keep the restaurant open just for them to lose it? Like, she's literally giving up running her own kitchen to work for Sebastian. Are the writers serious? Like, I know it's supposed to be sentimental of her choosing Sebastian because at this point he is family. But, like, the writers did not have to go this direction. The corporation never had to fire Sebastian. Like, literally, what is going on that led to these choices? Please explain what was going through your minds. But whatever, we're moving on. I can't keep talking about the Mei Li plot. I can't. So back to Nikki and Jalon. So Nikki sees a flower wilt in front of her, and it's the same type of flower that bloomed when she defeated Jalon in season 1 and released the energy from the weapons. So Nikki and Jalon quickly realize that something must be taking energy from the flowers, and suspect that Zhao is actually already at the monastery. And lo and behold, a few minutes later, they're face to face with her. Mia also quickly enters the scene because, of course, we have to have Mia involved in the fight. And this is where we learned that Zhao's plan is not to kill Mia, although, of course, we still don't know what her plan is yet. So, like I just kind of alluded to, Nikki, Shalon, and Mia fight Zhao. And while it initially seems like they may have trapped her and quote-unquote won, Zhao uses her ability to travel and disappears. And the episode ends with us learning where Zhao has transported herself to Henry, as she quickly disappears with him, planning to use his compass powers to finish her plan. So, yeah, a lot going on. It was nice to see Mia again, but other than that, not a great time in my opinion. If anyone has any thoughts on the episode, feel free to leave a comment, because I could definitely ramble more. Please continue to wear your masks and stay safe. And I'll catch you guys next week for episode 12. Bye!